Well, in the Plandopolis clip, which is coming out of these elite think tanks, they present a global food council which will decide all your rations, all your meat, all your vegetables, everything that you're allowed to get. And that, as you just said, harks back to the Stalinist era. It harks back to Maoist China, where, you know, people didn't just have to line up to get meat. Meat was a special treat. And
Monsanto has said that that's why they're infecting everything with their GMO, because in the future, well, it's already happened, almost every major corn, wheat, you name it, is infected with their genetics. Even if you didn't have their seed, it gets into the other plants. And if they find 1% of their genetics, then you're SWAT teamed. So you won't be able to have a farm or ranch because it's copyrighted, it's patented. You won't be able to grow anything because they've infected everything. And then the courts rule that they haven't polluted you. You've stolen from them, even though it's admitted they polluted you. This is the master takeover plan. You've got to admit they're geniuses.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to be talking about at the moment. Another thing which I can't remember if I mentioned earlier, but because of all these delays with the problems coming into the local airport and the fact that many of them have had to be rerouted to the Zurich airport 3 hours away, which was borne out by the fact that very few cars, if you think about, you know, you've got 120, 130 members coming to this meeting, it looked like at least half of them haven't even made it yet, which led to a lot of talk about the fact that the conference has been postponed, the official start of it, until tomorrow morning. So that's when they'll actually get down to business with the agenda. So the delays due to the weather and due to the low cloud cover have caused the Bilderberg meeting to be delayed by 1 day.
Oh, the gods are having trouble as they see themselves landing at their Mount Olympus, their little perch, while they drop their droppings on the little serfs. Other facets of the Bilderberg agenda that we're now learning that are absolutely outraging them. We know that they do have the Google execs there and others. They want to clamp down on free speech, and we see that manifested by the EU and others calling for these draconian net rules, Paul.
Yeah, that's what Tucker came out with, the fact that they're still incensed about the free reign that the Internet gives alternative media to shine the spotlight on this gaggle of criminals, and according to Tucker, that's also on the agenda this year. So it's about clamping down on free speech and stopping all the people who were assembled there today from getting anywhere near Bilderberg, as they hid their faces while driving past in their tinted windowed cars. The tint on the windows seemed to be almost black, so you couldn't see in the cars without a special lens which would enable you to do so. So we still managed to get some good photos, though, specifically of people like, we believe to be Pearl and Anders Rasmussen, the NATO head, which would obviously verify the fact that Libya is top of the agenda, as Tucker said, with Bilderberg furious about the U.S. Congress putting a roadblock in to stop Obama's war in Libya.
Now, you saw Bill Gates, but were we able to get a photo of that? And I know soon those will be uploaded at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. That's the next thing you're going to do. Do we have a photo of a little population reduction Billy Gates?
We did get a photo of it, but it was very blurred at the time. We need to go in and try and sharpen it up, which is why we said that we're not 100% sure that it was him. But, I mean, that's the closest resemblance that we could see. That it was Bill Gates. And obviously he was there last year in Spain, so it's obviously not out of the question that he would be there again.
All right, Paul, good job. Please hand the phone over to Aaron Dykes, InfoWars reporter, and then I'll be talking to you guys during the break coming up. But let's go ahead and bring Aaron Dykes up here now. Aaron, what's your view on what you're witnessing there in Switzerland as the global cockroaches, the global crime syndicate meets?
I think they're quite furious that even in the remote, rather elite ski town, that people are still willing to show up and show their faces in protest of the group, Alex. In addition to the names Alex mentioned, I spoke to 4 or 5 separate people who all separately saw David Rockefeller. At least some of them have it on video.
Good, and those will be getting uploaded soon. We'll put that together on the sites. Continue. Other things you've noticed.
Yeah, there was also a possible sighting. I'm consulting my footage as quickly as I can of Matthias Nass, the editor of Die Zeit, the Times in Germany. And he's always an annual attendee. He's on the steering committee as well. And we have other photos, too, of kind of shadowy, rather vampire-looking European members who've come in. And we're going to go through the list and try to identify them as well, Alex.
What about the whole ridiculous bomb scare? Recap other developments for us.
Well, it's obviously a hoax. It's pretty see-through, but the police chief was quite straight-faced in making sure nobody was going to come or go. And he didn't mind telling me he could care less if my car was available or if it'd be towed away or anything, or collateral damage in their hoax, false flag setup to keep the protesters farther from the perimeter. And, of course, yesterday we reported how they had a veil set up to prevent identifying the members at the entry checkpoint. Today, they literally had workers out there constructing a wooden frame to put up a bigger, more extended veil, preventing really any viewing of almost the entire perimeter of the hotel. Yesterday, where you saw us filming the security cameras on tripods, today was much more greatly restricted. And then they were also seen putting up the kind of crime scene tape around the wooded area surrounding the hotel, and a greater police presence further up the hill on the other side of the hotel as well, Alex.
Well, it is a crime scene, so the cops are doing their job.
Yeah, something like that. But, yeah, it really shut things down for a while. Of course, it was heavy rain today, and this whole bomb scare, you know, it was just see-through, Alex, but it was their hoax to keep things under control, or so they hope.
Well, Aaron, we're going to continue to report in the days to come as things unfold, and obviously coming up very soon now, next week, we're going to be able to go over even more that has developed, and we'll learn more about the list and the full spectrum of what's happened and the demonstrations and the rest of it. But any other points as we go to break here that you think are important to add, Aaron?
Well, obviously on the economic front, you know, we have Ednier Davignon back in 2009, obviously implying that they're ahead of this economic collapse, but that it's a real turning point. It could lead to their total global control, but it could also awaken Europeans to just the hard-handed measures of bailing out these banks and employing austerity measures. So he was obviously quite upset even 3 years ago at the possibility that it could awaken more people and cause a greater outrage to their global controls. Of course, they're trying to extend, you know, greater economic controls for the various global bodies, but nothing is set in stone, and they themselves have admitted that it's quite up in the air, and obviously public opinion will play a factor into that. So they're worried about public feedback on all fronts.
It's a crossroads for free humanity and the global parasites, because this is where they really set up their world government by bankrupting us and offering the alternative. But if we stand now and expose them, they will miscalculate and fail. It is so important. Aaron Dykes, Paul Watson, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to come back with some